I have a difficulty when speaking on this subject, especially in the United States, and speaking about the operations and the theoretical background of official secrecy in Britain, and the difficulty is simply stated. It's that I can tell, often when I'm talking to American audiences, that they think I must be making at least some of it up, because the merest sketch of the problems of political journalism in Britain, insofar as they relate to disclosures of officially held information, do, in fact, have the faculty of rendering the literary efforts of Joseph Heller and Franz Kafka amateur by contrast. The Official Secrets Act bore and bears the marks of its birth. It was rushed through Parliament at a time of spy fever during the First World War, when the royal family, for example, was changing all its German titles to English ones and repudiating its German citizenship, and there was a tremendous wave of chauvinism sweeping the country. A law was passed that said that anyone giving any kind of aid and comfort of any sort and so forth to the German branch of the British royal family, as in fact what was the other side and swore, would suffer the full penalty of the law without being told why. It has been promised by every government elected since that this bill will be repealed, since it is on its own face absurd and unjust, but every incoming government has found it unrepealably convenient. It is modelled on the dream of any state power. It is a law that permits the government to do anything, and it's thus not a tool which is likely to be easily discarded. The essence of the Official Secrets Act is its definition of secrecy. It doesn't say that the government can define what is national security or is in the national interest. It says that the government can define what is a secret. It means that it is no defense in a court case brought under Section 5 of the Official Secrets Act to prove that the information you printed was already in the public domain. That doesn't mean it cannot be defined as secret. I don't know how many of you have been to London. Even those of you who've only seen pictures of the skyline may recognize the Post Office Tower. It's the largest structure on the London skyline. Because the Post Office Tower is the center of a nexus of communications technology in Britain, it was ruled to be an official secret in the course of this trial in which I featured. Couldn't be mentioned in front of the jury, couldn't be entered in evidence as existing at all. Now, the fact that it was no defense for our lawyers to say the existence of the Post Office Tower, Your Worship, is not a secret, it is already in the public domain. It was defined for all purposes of the trial as location 1. The island of Cyprus, which is also a republic and a member of the Comity of Nations, where there are several British intelligence listening stations, which you can go to in a tourist car and drive up to the gates of, was defined as location 2. The island of Cyprus was ruled to be, its existence was ruled to be an official secret for the purpose of the trial. And that's not considered absurd, because if the government loses the right to define what is a secret, then it will have to fall back on defining something as national security, which would be obviously much more arbitrary. The control, therefore, must be, inevitably is, the government must have the right to say what is a secret. Because otherwise the public domain defense in any pluralistic democracy will always be available. And if that is allowed, then the law is an ass, and that is precisely what a national security state may not or dare not permit. Therefore, of course, to be accused under the Official Secrets Act is axiomatically, ex hypothesi, to be found guilty, or rather, to be guilty. It's possible not to be convicted, but that's because the government simply cannot prosecute everybody who breaks it, since everybody in the practice of journalism breaks it necessarily every day. Collection of information is a heading under which you may be indicted, and that is, I think you'll readily see, a very difficult rap for a journalist to beat. And in closing, I would say, and would claim to say from experience, that you should never allow yourself to forget when considering official secrecy and its analogues, that you're the intended target of official secrecy. And those who doubt it, and those who swallow the patriotic defenses that are made for this absurd construct, are preparing in their minds, and trying to prepare your minds, to become model citizens in a national security state. And that's a destiny that I think you should reject while you're lucky enough to be able to do so. Thank you.